Hello and welcome to What's in this week's Oban Times with me, Jodie Hagan.
Me, Sandy Neal.
Me, Kathy Griffiths.
And me, Owen Wild.
Well, we've had a busy week here in the office, and as always, we have lots for you to read in the paper or online at www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. We love hearing your stories and seeing your photographs, so keep on getting in touch by emailing editor@obantimes.co.uk, calling us on 01631 568 000, or getting in touch on our social platforms, including Facebook and X, formerly Twitter. Now, first up is Sandy with our biggest story of the week. Sandy, what have you been digging into?
Right, my goodness, no pressure then. Well, thank you. A row over Argyll and Bute Council's secrecy is growing, and now, in the latest chapter, a key councillor has been ousted from a board after voting to see annual accounts. Thursday's meeting in the Balamory Castle Chamber could be interesting. A traditional Tyree Black House will be demolished with the backing of the island's community council. Find out why. The fate of a proposed fish farm on Gia will be decided at a public hearing to be held almost 40 miles away. And Oban's Riding for the Disabled is back up and trotting every fortnight, and it has appealed for volunteers to help run the charity. If you've got skills in running a charity and would like to put a smile on the riders' faces, please pop along to their AGM at 7:30pm on Monday, September the 30th at Oban Fire Station.
Thank you, Sandy. Over to you, Kathy.
Well, round the world yacht race, Clipper's visit to Oban was so good earlier this year that it might be making a return voyage. The prestigious event visited the town in July, and now councillors are being invited to consider a proposal for the race to return to Oban in 2026, with private sponsorship to be sought by council officers. A report on that proposal is due to go before the full council at a meeting later this week. Now, could Mossfield lose out to vandalism? The Oban Sports Facility has yet again fallen foul of vandals, who this time reportedly kicked down a door at the site's new toilet block. Read more about that online and in print in this week's OT. The NHS's mobile breast screening unit will be back in Oban next month. Look out for your invite if you're due your first or your 3-year appointment. The unit was in town earlier this year and returns from October the 7th to October the 18th to catch up with those it missed first time round. The few minutes it takes to get screened could save your life. Don't ignore that appointment. There we go.
Thanks, Kathy. And Owen, what interesting stories do you have for us this week?
Thanks, Jodie. Well, CalMac has named the first two ferries it's most likely to retire next, both of which run regularly from Oban. The Scottish Government has paused its ban on wood-burning stoves, and SAMs have named their Student of the Year at this year's graduation ceremony. Finally, in the best news of the week in my humble opinion, what's the story? Well, wouldn't you like to know? That's right, Balamory's coming back to our TVs in 2026. But would it be welcome back to Tobermory? And is it even going to film there? Find out in this week's paper.
Well, that has certainly brought back a bit of nostalgia. Thank you, Owen. From me this week, 2 Ukrainian refugees have reopened the popular beach cafe at the Sam's Ocean Explorer Centre in Dumbeg. Best friends Maria and Yevgenia have whipped up a tasty menu of Scottish classics, hearty soups, and magnificent homemade cakes, and the cafe has been bustling with people coming to support the new team. Read more about the duo's story in this week's paper and online. Residents on call could see their recycling bags being replaced by bins after a councillor raised concerns about recycling disparity throughout Argyll and Bute. In Fort William, the reboot of the iconic Lochaber Live Festival was a smash hit and attracted over 7,000 attendees. And finally, nude doesn't have to be rude. Life drawing classes held at the Rockfield Centre were a sellout success at the weekend, with creatives of all abilities putting their drawing skills to the test. That's all from us this week, but there is a lot more to discover in the paper and online. Thank you for listening, and goodbye from me, Jodie Hagan.
Goodbye from me, Sandy Neal.
Bye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
And goodbye from me, Owen Wild.
Bye.
Bye.